This is my Arizona tale. I took off Thursday, 2 days ago. Took off Thursday, had everything in the motorhome loaded, ready to go. Before 6 o'clock in the morning, I was on the road. I'm going down the road. Got everything's going fine. Somewhere between Boise and Twin Falls, I hit this really rough patch of pavement, like washboard asphalt, and all the idiot lights on the dashboard go blink, 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 and then it was fine. Nothing else happened. I went, I don't know what the hell that is. So I travel on, go to Twin Falls and go down to, head into Nevada. And I'm in Nevada, which Nevada seems to have nicer roads than Idaho does. And they have rumble strips down the middle and down the side. So if you go over to the side, it makes it, and get you back on the road. So I'm down there and I am gonna pass this car. So I'm leaning out this way, looking like this, going over the rumble strip. It's a big one too. And all of a sudden, all the idiot's lights comes on and the instruments go blip, 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 blip. I pull over, the engine doesn't necessarily die. I pull over to the side of the road and it's making these weird noises and I shut it off. And then I try to start it and it won't start, which is I probably did something wrong there. So then I turned on the key and made sure it was in park and turned off the key and then I turned it on, started right up. The little yellow engine lights on. Then I get to Ely, which is about 400 miles. That's 400 miles from Boise. And I fill up with diesel, and then I park the truck, and I go inside and use the restroom. I come back out, not the truck, the motorhome. Come back out, start the motorhome back up. The yellow light goes out, so I got no idiot lights on at all, no warning lights. I'm thinking, well, maybe that's just like an odd thing. I don't, let's just go. So then I had leave Ely and head out, and I get about 81 miles from Ely. There's really no towns you go through going 81 miles from maybe Lund from Ely. And I pull over to the side of the roads. I need to get something out of my backpack. I get that, and then I climb back and I just pull out. I'm going once again over some pretty big rumble strips, going like that, and then get started, and then the whole thing just dies. Boom. So I coast over the side of the road, and it won't start. I try things like disconnecting and reconnecting the battery, because we had that problem once before with an error start, but I didn't do it. And I let it sit there for a while and tried it. And then after about, I don't know, you don't know how long you're sitting there. You're going, and of course my cell phone does not work. In this location, my cell phone doesn't work at all. I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to get to the next town, because I knew Ely was like 81 miles behind me, and there'd be a town closer. So I thought, I know Ash Springs or something, they've got gas stations, truck stops. So I stick my thumb out, and standing behind my motorhome on the side of the road, stick my thumb out, and most people just made sure they didn't run into me. And these two guys from Minnesota stopped, and they were kind of mechanical guys, and they even had like a little thing to plug in for the computer, and there's something low fuel pressure, and then we checked it, and you'd turn on the pump, but there was no diesel getting anywhere. So then I said, well, I'm going to need a tow truck. And I mean, nobody's cell phone. They had Verizon and Straight Talk, and their phones didn't work there. My phone didn't work there. So they're giving me a ride. So I get in their pickup truck and ride, and about 40 miles down the road, 45 miles down the road, there's past Ash Springs, because Ash Springs just has a gas station. Stop at this place, Alamo Towing, right there in front of the truck stop. Towing, big towing sign. So I stopped there, get the get the towing, and so then my cell phone doesn't work, but theirs does by then. Their cell phone works. So we call the number because and then we're talking to the guy. He goes, "Where are you?" He says, I'm out here in front of the building. And he goes, "Oh, just come in the truck stop. Just come in. I'll take care of it." So I give those guys like $20 a piece because one of them even crawled into the motorhome and looked at something. And they gave me that ride. So I did that. Then I go in and I'm talking to the guy and he's not the tow truck guy. He's just like taking the information. Then he calls up the tow truck guy, and the tow truck guy says, "Yeah, you can't. That's motorhome. I can't tow that. You have to call somebody in Vegas." And I'm going, "Vegas?" And I'm going, "Who? Oh, anybody." But nobody's like offering me their phone. There's no pay phones, but there's internet. So I signed up for this internet. It's free, first half hour is free, and then you can sign up and pay for it. So I signed up. I mean, I got the half hour. I got it working, and then I went and bought some. And then I'm thinking that the motorhome has a insurance policy. They might have towing. So I get a hold of Mike, who owns the motorhome, and Mike says, "Yeah, I think so." But he tries to do some stuff on his phone because I'm so limited, but it won't work. It wants to send the tow truck to Boise, Idaho. So I get on there, and it texts you after you call the number. It sends you a text, and the text will take you to the website, and it's like, "Well, where's it located?" I'm like putting milepost NY 3183. That was the milepost number. They're weird in Nevada. Then finally somebody comes on the phone. I can hardly hear them. They can't hear me, and then she asks questions like, "Well, are the keys with it?" Well, I go, "No." Well, how do you think they're gonna? I know maybe the tow truck driver can pick me up and take me to it. I didn't leave it unlocked in the middle of nowhere, 40 miles from where I am, 45 miles. And then I'd already gone through and said what it was, and somehow she goes, "Oh, this is a motorhome. Let me get you to somebody else." So then she transfers me to somebody else who is actually better qualified than she is. And we're talking all about it. We got the milepost kind of down. And then suddenly my free half hour of internet's off. Bingo. And the call is dropped. Then I'm going, "Well, I bought this internet, but it won't let me on because I don't have a password." And all the password and stuff was sent to my email. But I can't get to my email because I can't get on the internet. So then I buy another day's worth of internet, and I can get back on. And in the meantime, Mike has found a Sprinter repair place in Las Vegas, and so I call them, and they say, we can't do anything till Monday or Tuesday." Who do you use for tow?" We probably couldn't even work on it until Thursday, and you can't tow it here. You can't tow it here. Try G&G. Do you know what their number is?" "Well, no, it's on the internet." So then, bingo, that's gone. So then I search for G&G whatever in Las Vegas, and I found a out-of-place business. And then I'm just like, by that time, I've also contacted Alan to contact Margot because I can't text Margot because I can only text Alan because he's got an iPhone or something, at least at that time. And then Margot says, "You want some help?" And I says, "I'll get back to you." And then finally I say, "Margot, yes, I need some help. Please come up here." And then because I'm beginning to go, it's like 5 o'clock now and I don't know what I'm doing because I'm in a town, kind of, white spot in the road. And I got no cell phone. The internet's not working worth a shit. My phone is going dead because all it's doing is looking for internet. I mean, all it's doing is looking for a cell signal. So if your cell phone can't connect to a cell signal, it will constantly look for it. And I'm going, so it's almost gone. And then I don't know who to call in Vegas. So then the tow truck guy who owns the tow truck, which is he was a fine man. He was good. He said, "Well, I just can't get it. Explain to me why." And then he said, "Well, call A1 or there's lots of places." So I get on the internet and I find one that's quality towing. So I call them up, and they are, once again, the milepost confuses them. And I'm thinking, well, are you in Nevada? And they go, yes. Okay, so it's like 3 miles north of the Nye County line on Highway 318. And are you with it? No, I'm not. Is it open? No. Well, we can't tow it. I says, I'll be there. I'll be there. Maybe you can pick me up. When? How much is it going to cost? $224 an hour from port to port, plus 19% fuel excise charge. So I figure it's about 3 hours. They got like at least 6 hours of tow truck, and whatever 19% of that was going to end up. But I'm going, I can't leave it there in the middle of the road. I got this late gives to Las Vegas. Maybe somebody can fix it. And they, what do you want it towed to? And I'm going, I don't know, because I couldn't find anybody to fix it. So I made a deal with them, give them my credit card, and they said they'd be out between 7 and noon. So I'm doing okay. And I'm thinking, well, Margot's coming, but I can't get a hold of her again. My internet's not working right. And, but she's coming. So I figured I'll just hang out in the store. I'm going to hang out in the store. And it's a grocery store too. I mean, it's a busy little place. And then I started looking around for, so I can't play on my phone because the more it's on, the more it looks for cell signal. And it's like down to 31% now. And so I'm thinking, well, get a book. We'll get a book, get a magazine. So I look all around the store, which is pretty good size. They have, and finally I went to the clerk at the grocery part. Says, do you guys have any magazines? No, we don't. I mean, they had some color books, but they didn't have any magazines, and they didn't have any books. And finally I found a newspaper from Las Vegas. I bought that, and I read that for cover to cover. And then I'm waiting, drinking some Perrier, eating some almonds, and I'm waiting. And I'm thinking, well, Margot's not going to be here till 10 o'clock. That's if things go right for her. I'm going, and then they say, we close at 9. So I'm going, okay, I close at 9. Plus, and it's cold in this store. It is cold in this store, and I'm wearing my flannel shirt and a t-shirt because it was like 50-some degrees when I broke down, and it's cold. And now it's down to like, they give me a free cup of coffee to sit outside with. So, it's like 34 degrees out, and I'm like fucking cold. And then I decided I'll just walk. So I was just walking back and forth in front of the grocery store truck stop, pacing back and forth to keep myself warm and shut my brain up, gives me something to do rather than sit there and think I'm cold. So I did that, and then after about a half an hour, this girl comes out that works there, starts her car up and tells me I can sit in her car. So I go sit in her car. And then they get everything closed, and she's ready to go home. And then she says, well, when's your friend going to be here? I'm going, pretty soon, I think. And so I try to call. I use her phone because her phone works there, and try to call Margot, and it doesn't. Margot doesn't answer. And then I got onto her hotspot, and suddenly I get this message from Margot saying, I'll be there in 3 hours. I'm going, now I wonder if this message is 3 hours old, 2 hours old, or whatever. And then about that time I'm going, because I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because I'm in this town that's got, I think there's a motel somewhere up the road. But yeah, I'm going, and I'm cold. I don't want to sleep outside. And then Margot showed up. And then we got to the motor, we drove the mileage to the motorhome, put the key in it, started right up. So then we pulled off, got it off of just the side of the road, pulled over to a wide spot, spent the night there. Margot in her rig, me in mine. And I was cold, it was like 24 degrees out. And then in the morning, I'm thinking, should I do? Should I get it towed to Vegas? Because what if it breaks on the way home? And finally I said, I'm headed back towards Ely. So we have to drive 20 miles to go get some cell service. Margot's phone, not mine. And call these people up, and I'm really worried that they're going to be pissed off or angry. And they says, that sounds wonderful. They were more than happy to cancel my claim. And then I drove to Ely, filled up Margot's car, gave her more gas money, bought her a nice lunch, and I came home. Driving about 65, so I didn't have to pass anybody, and avoiding rumble strips like the devil. That's it.